Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com, and today got more of those secrets to unlock his heart. Today we're going to talk about 5 tricks to start a conversation with a guy. It's one of those things that everybody seems to feel is really tricky. I mean, a lot of women feel like talking to men is a chore and one of the most difficult things to do. Funny thing is, the guys feel the exact same way. And unfortunately, to top it off, guys have to initiate conversation, which is even trickier. Let me start out by telling you that the most important thing you can do to facilitate a conversation with a guy is to look open and accepting and looking like you really want to be talked to. Because the more open and willing you look like you want to talk, it means that you basically won't reject him. That's what he's looking for. He looks for all the signs that say, this girl is not going to reject me. Here's a few things you can do to look approachable. The first one is smile. You've probably heard it 1,000 times before, but you probably don't realize how little you're actually smiling when you're out around guys. You have to look like you're almost going to burst into giggles the very second he says hello to you. A guy looks to see how happy you are before he approaches you. If you look too serious, he's not going to go for it. The next one is unmistakable eye contact. I'm not talking about that look where you just look and look away really quick. You got to lock on for about 2 seconds and then look down and away. That's a little bit of an eye indicator to a guy that says, yeah, I'll talk to you. Another is be approachable. You got to be willing to play with yourself. Hey, guys are drawn in by visual cues, in case you hadn't heard. So if you wanted to send out the right invitation, play with your hair, run your hand along your neck, work the cleavage a little bit. You'd be amazed what this does to make him want to come talk to you. Okay, get him talking to you. Trick number 1 is quick flattery. Most men know that the way into a man's heart is through his ego. It's his most vulnerable zone. Just send him a small comment that shows that you know that he's worthwhile, that you're impressed by him in some way. That's all it takes. You can compliment his wardrobe, you can compliment his hair, his car, if that's convenient in some way. But the best one, compliment his choices. If he makes a good choice in a beer or a wine, point it out. Get him talking to you. Trick number 2 is opportunity knocking. Look, if you're not actually going to start the conversation with him and you want him to make the first move, then you need to keep giving him those opportunities to come talk to you. Don't be afraid to take a little action yourself to get him to come over and say something. Here's a couple of ways that you can extend that offer to him and not look too eager in the process. Sit or stand near him. Make it hard for him to not notice you. Be in hearing range when he's about to order, and then maybe you flag the bartender down first, or do it at the same time so there's a convenient collision there. It's a good way to be in the right place at the right time in order for him to notice you. Get him talking to you. Trick number 3 is ask him for help. Look, damsels in distress are a guy's dream come true, whether we want to admit it or not, and that's one of the weird ways that a man's brain is wired. Deep inside us, we've got this desire to fill that protector and provider role for you. And it's not about acting helpless or being somebody you're not, but just give him a chance to do something for you. You know, get him to take a picture of you and your friends if you're out at a bar or in a restaurant. It's a great way, a sneaky way to pull a guy in. It's quick, it's low pressure. Or ask him for a suggestion on a menu, or selecting a wine, or selecting a beer or some beverage. You're tapping into his desire to be validated as an expert in some way, and that will work. Get him talking to you. Trick number 4, use the old cliche. Have we met somewhere before? Yeah, I know, you've probably heard it 1,000 times, but it works, and that's why we use it. It's because it's an easy, low-risk way to start a conversation. Just walk up confidently and say something like, hey, sorry, but do I know you? I feel like we've met someplace before, but I just can't place it. Again, you might be sitting here right now thinking, Carlos, no way, that's so old, it won't work. That's why it works. For the guy that wants to meet a woman, anything you say will work. And finally, get him talking to you. Trick number 5 is accidental intrusion. When push comes to shove and you just haven't been able to catch his eye, it's time to pull out the big guns. Arranging a little accidental near collision, or actual collision if you want to bump into him, is a great way to make sure he's seen you and noticed you. You can even drop something in front of him on purpose, giving him a chance to help you out, as well as, what, an accidental intrusion there. Maybe drop a pen or a napkin or your wallet or your clutch bag. Gives him every excuse he needs to start talking to you. Now, once you've got his attention, what's next? Well, that's when it's time to put some of my conversation tips with guys to work. And it's time to work your magic to light the fires of infatuation. Now, I've got a free video, a really cool presentation that'll help you bridge the gap from first meeting him to that first date. And all it takes is a little know-how to turn on the charm and get that conversation flowing. Most women are afraid of trying, mostly because they don't know what the steps are. They don't know the roadmap. Let me show you that roadmap. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com/irresistible. That's datingadviceguru.com/irresistible. You're going to learn how to be that irresistible woman that a guy can't help but see. I'll be talking again soon. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com/irresistible, and I'll be talking again soon.